Well, howdy, Crossroads, and happy Thursday, Friday Eve. I like to call it because tomorrow's Friday, and then it's weekend time, y'all. Get excited, and get excited because, well, we've got some very nice weather coming our way, and we'll talk about that. But before we get to the nice weather, there is a catch, and we'll also talk about that as well. I'm 25 News Now Sunrise meteorologist Parker Cox, looking at your short-term and long-term forecast for South Texas and the Crossroads for the next few days and see what we can expect. So, starting out with our very nice weather, that's going to be the first thing you can expect for today, Thursday. You can see a lot of us going to be looking for high temperatures this afternoon. Very nice. Low 70s, low 70s. I'm thinking 72 this afternoon, Thursday afternoon for Victoria. Maybe 70 flat along the coast, maybe even upper 60s for really right along the shoreline. But other than that, we're looking for near perfect weather this afternoon. But there is a catch, and here's what's going on out there. So, first of all, we had a cool front that passed through Wednesday late afternoon time, maybe early evening, and that is what brought us a little bit of a chilly morning. I'm sure y'all noticed that early Thursday morning. Well, it's also going to bring us our very nice weather for today because temperatures are going to be about 5, 6, 7 degrees less than Wednesday's high temperatures in the upper 70s. So today, low 70s, but here's the catch I was talking about. Going into late Thursday afternoon, the front that passed through on Wednesday, currently it's stalled and stationary in the Gulf, but later Thursday afternoon, because of a surface low pressure system that has formed off the back end of this front, which is stationary, that is going to move inland as we go into the afternoon time. It's not tropical or anything, nothing to worry about, but it is a very warm and very deep humid air mass. And what this is going to do to us is it's going to bring us fog, and we're going to talk about that here in a second. But you can see this warm front going to move inland as we go into the afternoon hours. Here's noontime, but you can see by 3 p.m. Boom, there's the warm front. You can see winds are shifting back out of the Gulf, out of the southeast. Not that breezy, you won't notice it, but you might notice the humidity picking up because as we go into tonight, you're going to notice the fog for sure if you're tuning in the early morning hours, which, like I said, we'll see here in just a second because what that warm front is also going to do, opposite of a cool front, it's going to warm us up. You'll see low temperatures Friday morning, Thursday night, dropping down to only the low 50s, which is about 10 degrees warmer than Thursday morning. Warmer because of the warm front, but also more humid because those temperatures are going to be falling down to the dew point, which is now warmer dew points. Low 50s, we're looking for dew points probably around 52, 53, 54 degrees in Victoria and around the Crossroads on Friday morning, and that is going to allow for some dense fog, patchy fog to form. And let me tell y'all something. Some of the computer models that we use for forecasting are spitting out some absolutely obnoxious fog values and like visibility values for tomorrow, Friday morning, and also Saturday morning as well, because this is going to continue, but I don't think it'll be as dense on Saturday morning. But so that means Friday morning, we're looking at, you can see right here, very, very dense fog, patchy in nature all around the Crossroads. I would very likely expect some dense fog advisories to be issued by the National Weather Service. Before that all clears up at around 9 or 10 in the morning, late in the morning I'm thinking, and it'll be partly cloudy for the rest of the day Friday, and like I said, we'll probably have another round of fog Saturday in the morning time. So y'all please stay safe if you're going to be traveling those mornings. Otherwise, it's going to be lovely, y'all. So stay safe in the morning and then enjoy the rest of the day because you can see high temperatures after courteous thanks to the warm front, going to be warmer. Warm front warmer. Upper 70s for high temperatures Friday, getting close to 80 on your December 12th. And if we don't hit 80 Friday, I think we will on Saturday. I'm thinking 80 flat in Victoria, Cuero, Edna, pretty much all around the Crossroads, looking at around 80. But you'll see northern counties are noticeably a little bit cooler. That is because we're going to have another front come through Saturday night, mainly Sunday morning. That's when it's going to get here. Excuse me. But why we're looking at another front, this one's going to be stronger than the last one that passed Wednesday, late afternoon time. This is going to be stronger because, first of all, we have high pressure on the west coast. That's bringing us our sunshine with all the winds aloft above our heads out of the northwest over the Rockies. Dry air filtering in, bringing us some sunshine on Thursday, but as we go into Friday, that high system is going to wither away, and that that surface low system will move onshore, and we'll look at partly cloudy skies for the rest of Friday and Saturday. But as we go into this weekend, what is this? Big, cold, low pressure system. It's a polar low system that's going to be coming out of Canada, all because the high pressure system withered away and it can no longer deflect or batter or push away this low system. So this is going to sink south, and that'll send us a cold front for Sunday. I'm thinking in the morning time, and that'll bring our high temperatures down into, well, the 60s and the 50s, and we'll look at that in a second, because I want to show you something. Going into next week, for the week pre-Christmas, the pre-Christmas week, we're looking at another low system. This is going to be a mid-level low pressure, not a polar upper-level low system like that one in Canada, but this is a mid-level low system coming out of the Pacific. And what this is going to do, you can see right here, this is going to sink really far south. It's going to dig real far south into Mexico, and it's going to bring us rain chances for next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. I also want to mention Saturday and Sunday over the weekend time, chances are also at 20%, 20, mainly for Saturday afternoon, and also Sunday morning before the front gets here, where there's lift in the atmosphere right ahead of the front, because the front is pushing everything into the upper atmosphere. But as we go into next week, there's going to be different lifting mechanism. It's going to be this low pressure system, in a low pressure center surface, air is rising. So there's going to be lifting humid air, especially with our return flow coming out of the Gulf as we go into Tuesday. Enough for rain chance, or excuse me, yes, Tuesday and Wednesday, enough for rain chances, Tuesday and Wednesday, 20%, maybe some thunderstorms, but why I'm not really buying that too much is because you can see this low is digging real far south, so we're going to track that as we go all the way into next week. But also as we go into next week, we're tracking, like I said, that front that's going to be here Sunday morning, but we're mainly tracking some warm weather for the next few days, so don't really think you need your jacket unless it's in the morning time, because you can see mornings will be a tad cool, 50s and 60s, but foggy, so stay safe before the next front blasts through Sunday morning. Highs, like I said, back in the 60s and 50s for a couple days. Chilly Monday morning. Low temperatures possibly in the upper, maybe even mid-30s in our northern counties. Do not think we're going to reach freezing, so don't worry about that. But going into the latter half of next week, we'll start warming up, and I think that warm-up will actually now continue all the way through Christmas. Yes, you heard me correctly. We will stay warm, I think, all the way through Christmas until maybe Christmas Day or the day after, where we finally get another front that'll bring us back to the cooler weather. But we're looking at a warm Christmas, y'all. I'm thinking highs probably in the 70s, possibly the 80s for December 25th, Christmas Day. So we're going to be watching what happens with that. All that thanks to, you may have seen it on the upper air tracker just a moment ago, all that is going to be thanks to a ridging pattern that will take place above our heads, with high pressure systems forming over the Atlantic and the Pacific region, forming our jet stream pretty much right above our heads. So we're going to be watching the heat as we go into or get closer to Christmas, but we're also going to be watching for that dangerous fog. So y'all please stay safe with that. And until I see y'all tomorrow, Friday, or next week for the week pre-Christmas, y'all stay safe with the fog out there. Stay warm with the cool mornings out there. And, of course, enjoy the beautiful weather coming our way, y'all. Until y'all see y'all next time, gig 'em.